For decades, we've all been told exactly the same thing. Go to school, get a good job, work for 40 years, save as much money as you possibly can, hopefully retire around 65, and then live off 4% of your investment every year. That's been the retirement blueprint for generations. But what if the blueprint was designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore? What if the investing landscape has changed so much over the last 15 or 20 years that it's time to start asking different questions? Not because the old advice was bad, but because we have tools today that simply didn't exist back then. Today I want to challenge you with one of the biggest assumptions we've all grown up believing. Not by telling you what to buy, but by showing you some math that completely changed how I think about retirement. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Chris. Every Sunday I document my investing journey with real money, the wins, the mistakes, the changes I make, and most importantly, the thinking behind those decisions. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm simply sharing what's worked for me, what I'm learning, and hopefully giving you something interesting to think about. If you enjoy these types of videos, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed, hit the notification bell. My goal is to help all of us become better investors together. Alright, let's jump in. First, let's talk about something called the 4% rule. If you've never heard of it, it's one of the most influential retirement concepts ever created. The basic idea is simple. If you build a diversified investment portfolio, historically, you can withdraw around 4% of it every year, adjust for inflation, and have a reasonable chance of your money lasting 30 years or more. It's actually brilliant, simple, easy to understand, and for millions of people, it's been an excellent guideline. This is important because this video isn't about saying the 4% rule is wrong. I don't think it is. I think it's still a fantastic framework, but I also think it's fair to ask, has the investing world changed enough that maybe retirement deserves another look? Let's put some real numbers to this. Imagine you want to generate $50,000 per year, not extravagant, just enough to live comfortably. Using the traditional 4% rule, you need approximately $1.25 million invested. Now, let's say your goal was $100,000 per year. Now you're talking roughly $2.5 million. Just stop for a second to think about that. How many people do you know that have $2.5 million invested? Not many. For most families, those numbers don't just seem difficult, they seem impossible. And I think that's one of the reasons so many people automatically assume, I guess I'll just work till I'm 65, or maybe even longer. A while back, I started asking myself a different question. Not how do I save more money, but what investments are available today that weren't available 20 years ago? Think about it. Bitcoin didn't exist. Spot Bitcoin ETFs didn't exist. Covered call ETFs didn't exist. Income ETFs like MSTY didn't exist. Stretch didn't exist. Whether you love those investments or hate them, the point is they've changed the menu. It's like walking into your favorite restaurant and suddenly there are 50 new meals you've never seen before. You don't have to order them, but it would be pretty strange to pretend that they didn't exist. So that's when I realized maybe we've been all asking the wrong question. Instead of asking what's the best investment, maybe we should be asking what investment is best for this specific job. The question completely changed how I build my own portfolio. Instead of trying to find one magical investment that does everything, I started building a team. Some investments focus on growth, some focus on cash flow, some focus on preserving wealth. Every investment has one job. That's when I started looking at retirement through a completely different lens. Now, let's compare something really interesting. And before I do, I need to make this crystal clear. This is not a prediction. These numbers are simply examples based on today's prices and today's distributions. Those distributions can go up, they can go down. Nothing is guaranteed. I'm not telling you to buy one of these investments. I'm simply showing you why I think retirement math has become a much more interesting conversation. Let's imagine someone had $500,000. Using the traditional 4% rule, the portfolio would generate roughly $20,000 per year, or around $16,000 per month. Nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what the 4% rule is designed to do. But let's compare that with something completely different. So let's compare a few different approaches. Let's imagine someone has $500,000 to invest. If they follow the traditional 4% rule, that portfolio would generate roughly $20,000 per year, or around $1,667 per month. Again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's a strategy that's helped millions of people retire successfully. Now, let's compare that to something newer. Let's use Stretch as an example. Today, Stretch is yielding somewhere around 12% annually. Now, before anyone jumps into the comments, yes, that yield can change. Nothing is guaranteed. This is simply today's math. If someone invested that same $500,000, a 12% yield would produce roughly $60,000 per year. That's approximately $5,000 a month. Same investment amount, very different cash flow. Again, that doesn't automatically make Stretch the better investment. It simply demonstrates how newer income-focused investments can completely change the conversation around retirement. Now, let's look at something even more interesting. Again, this is not a prediction, this is simply an illustration using today's share price and the most recent distributions. Let's imagine the same $500,000 was invested into MSTY at approximately $13 per share. That would produce roughly 38,500 shares. Now, using a weekly distribution of approximately 34 cents per share, that works out to roughly $13,000 every single week. Every single week. Just let that sink in for a second. $13,000 every week. Now, do I believe that distribution is guaranteed forever? Absolutely not. Could it go down? Most likely. Could it go up? Possibly. Nobody knows. And that's exactly why I tell people, don't chase yield. Understand it. Because high cash flow almost always comes with higher uncertainty. But here's what fascinates me. The fact that investments capable of generating that level of cash flow even exist today. That conversation simply wasn't possible 20 years ago. Now here's the question. What if you don't actually need that income today? What if instead of spending it, you reinvested it? This is where my mindset completely changed. I used to think reinvesting meant buying more shares. Now, I think about it completely differently. I'm buying future income. Every additional share has the potential to produce additional cash flow. That cash flow may purchase additional shares, which may generate additional cash flow, which may purchase additional shares. That's compounding. And that's the point where I stopped looking at my portfolio as a pile of money. I started looking at it as an income producing machine. Now there's another piece of this puzzle that I don't think gets talked about nearly enough: taxes. Because where you invest can be almost as important as what you invest in. Here in Canada, we have accounts like the tax-free savings account where eligible investments grow and withdrawals are generally tax-free under current rules. We also have registered retirement savings plans, RRSPs, which can provide tax deductions today with withdrawals generally taxed later. In the United States, many investors use Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, or 401ks, each with their own tax advantages and rules. The details are different, but the principle is exactly the same. The more efficiently your investments compound, the more powerful time becomes. Imagine reinvesting distributions year after year without immediately losing a portion of them to taxes every time. That can make an enormous difference over 20, 30, or 40 years. This is actually why my own portfolio has evolved the way it has. Bitcoin is still the foundation. It's where I have the highest level long-term conviction, but I also own investments designed to produce cash flow. Not because I think they're guaranteed to outperform Bitcoin, not because I think they're perfect, but because they solve a problem. Some investments build wealth, some generate income, some diversify risk. Every investment has one job. And when every investment knows its job, the entire portfolio starts making a lot more sense. If there's one thing I'd like you to take away from this video, it's this. I'm not telling you to go buy MSTY. I'm not telling you to go buy Stretch. I'm not even telling you to go buy Bitcoin. What I'm encouraging you to do is question old assumptions, because the investing landscape has changed dramatically. The retirement advice our parents and grandparents were given was based on the investments that existed at the time. Today's investors have more tools than ever before. That doesn't mean the old strategies are obsolete. It simply means we have more choices, and understanding those choices can potentially change your future. Maybe retirement isn't just about working longer. Maybe it's also about learning more, learning how different investments work, learning how taxes affect compounding, learning how cash flow changes financial flexibility. Because once you understand the math, you start asking different questions, and sometimes the questions you ask can completely change your future. I'd love to hear from you. Do you think the traditional retirement model still makes the most sense? Or do you think investments like MSTY, Stretch, and others have changed the conversation?